Time to ask the most vague question. What's the most vague question? What's the point of life? Oh no, Dante, don't open this can of worms. Well, the worms are out and they're sprawling about in the dirt and all over the place. I'm thinking today about the point of life. It's an interesting question, right? You can read a few books, think about things, walk around, talk about, travel around, and yeah, philosophize a little bit. And today, you know, I'm thinking about it because it's one of those foundational questions for me to start with. And I really do believe that there's a point to this whole game of life, right? For me and for you. And we all can define what that means. And especially if you're an American and you live here, we have the freedom of anything we want to do in the world. You know. So yeah, I get distracted when I see the Jehovah's Witnesses giving out free Bible studies because it's a beautiful thing. And I like to joke when I pass by them and tell them that we're in Revelations. It's a funny thing I do. So yeah, basically I'm thinking about life because the point of it should be maximally experiencing the outdoors. I think if you're indoors, nothing's happening, nothing's getting done. It's really simple as that, right? Moving, walking, talking, like being outside is the ultimate life's purpose, I think. You know, who needs a trophy? I mean, seriously, who needs a trophy? Who needs an award? Who needs these things, right? It's an interesting concept when I simplify it down to like simply being outside and like experiencing life. It's like, wow, okay, so if that's the point of life, then what things do I have to eliminate from my life for me to find more purpose and meaning? And it's really simple things like not having a phone in my pocket, you know, always carrying the camera on me, you know, 360 flip, you know, constantly making art, constantly working out, fasting all day, eating meat, like these simple things, like riding my bicycle, trying to make 1,000 pictures a day, trying to walk 30,000 steps a day, like setting my goals higher and higher with my photography, and you know, just the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, so then what do I do? It's like I can't have a phone in my pocket. I don't want to check emails and be passive by sitting down. So, you know, one must find some sort of purpose. And my purpose is I'm creating the archive of Philadelphia, and no one needs to know about it. You know, I mean, I'm sharing it here, but here's the thing. It's for me. It's for me. There's no way in hell I'm doing photos for someone else. You know, I've done it in the past, but you're not going to accomplish anything creative or interesting. It's gonna not only be that, but you're gonna wind up diminishing your own value as an artist. It's kind of just like this sad truth. It's like, damn, okay, so I can't do that. So then you just go about your life, you know, you sunbathe, you get out in the sun, you like enjoy the fresh air and just like live and be free. The ultimate freedom is at the outdoors. You know, I don't wish somebody sitting at a computer in an air conditioning room like on my worst enemy. I think that's the ultimate death of a human, and it's something that I've been thinking about. So I try to stay out from the moment my eyes open. I get in the gym and I get right outside, and I stay out here in this birthplace of America until I see the sun go down, and I go home and I have my big meal and fall asleep. You know, and life is so short. Even if you're outside all day like I am and interacting and looking around and like speaking with people and just doing things, it goes by in a blink of an eye. It's insane how quick the days go by, and how fast it goes is ever motivating for me to seize every moment to do something. And in any passive moments I have, I'll pray. You know, I'll pray for the city, I'll pray for my family. And ultimately, I think working on your physical self is the goal, because everything else definitely aligns from there, right? You know, your mind, your body, all that stuff. It's connected. It's official. You heard it here first. And so with that said, striving to be outdoors is my life's purpose, and having that big goal of creating the archive of Philadelphia. I know my archive will live on, but the goal is for it to live on for centuries. And that's why I am adopting a new practice with my street photography and the way that I go about things. And I think it's a good thing. I have this huge goal, you know. It keeps me going, right? As long as I know I'm doing good work, you know what? I don't care if anyone sees it, or if it, you know, if it makes me any money. I could care less, because I know what I'm doing. You know, I've been doing this for a decade. I know what I'm doing by now. I know that I'm making good work, whatever that means. You know, I don't need any approval anymore. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave behind the archive of Philadelphia that lasts for centuries. I want my photos to live on for hundreds of years. This country's been alive for how many years? Since 1776? That's not long at all. What is that, like 200 something years, something like that? You know, close to 300 years or whatever. That's not long at all. You know, this building here was built before that one, so this is the Masonic Temple, and then the Masons built this. I guess, I don't know, the Scottish built this stuff. So I don't know if the Masons had a hand. They definitely had a hand on the city hall. You know, I gotta learn a little bit more about history each day. Like, that's another life's purpose. Just learn a little bit more about your past. Because the more I look at these beautiful structures, it makes me question the use of the Comcast Center and the computers in there, and, like, you know, the mini malls. And it's just an interesting thing. It's like, how are we ever going to recreate something like this again? You know, like, we won't, because we're all sitting inside on computers, and it's just like this facade, like nothing's actually happening. You know, that's the weirdest thing. When you realize that, like, nothing's really happening when you're behind a computer sending an email or something. So it's like, I can't even have the conscience of, like, doing something like that. It just makes me feel guilty. It's like dirty. It's like unhealthy. So I'm just out here exploring, basking in the sunlight, getting my steps in, working on my art, and creating the archive that'll last for centuries, documenting Philadelphia for what it is through the candid approach of this new school of street photography. Yay. Woohoo. Sitting right outside the Masons, the Masonic Temple. The new logo for the Masonic Temple is now a Ricoh and a GoPro. No longer is it a protractor and an eye. We are the new Masons.